Moving on. Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Brown to star in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Millie Bobby Brown, the actress made famous by her role in the Netflix exclusive series Stranger Things, has joined the cast of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. News of Brown's casting comes by The Hollywood Reporter. Details on the film's story and characters are being kept under wraps for the time being. Godzilla, King of the Monsters will serve as Brown's film debut in addition to starring as Eleven in Stranger Things. The actress appeared in the television series Intruders and has had single-episode guests on roles such as Grey's Anatomy and Modern Family. The sequel, directed by Michael Daughtry, will be coming out March 22nd, 2019. So what do y'all think?
I like it. I think she's a great, young actress, and I think that she's going to, pave a way for herself in the industry. And I'm excited for the movie and to see her in it.
I'm very curious as to what she's going to do.
She's going to be a monster.
Could be. Something like that. No, I think she's a good actress, and I'm sure whatever she does, she'll be great at it. But again, it's what is she going to do?
Yeah.
It would be my thing.
They haven't really put out any information about the movie, so can't really tell what it's going to be.
It is going to be set in the same universe as the new King Kong that's coming out.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll have a battle Kong versus Godzilla to determine who's the real king of the monsters. My vote's Godzilla.
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 I'm interested in. And, Stranger Things Season 2 has been confirmed as well, so...
Comes out this summer,
hoping to see her back in that show as well.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
Hoping.
So, we're at the end of our movie news there. We're fixing to jump into the gaming side of everything. Go ahead, Derek.
Before we get into our gaming news, I would like to remind you that for you, the listeners of the Nerd Cave podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I recently signed up for Audible.
Yeah.
I've been loving it. I've been listening to the latest Chris Jericho book. It's called Best in the World at What? I Have No Idea. Ton of hilarious stories. It kind of goes over... You heard the episode of Smodcast with him, right?
Yeah.
That period of time where he was like the most hated guy in wrestling, it takes place during that period, so you get to hear all kinds of cool stories.
That's really cool.
Like people trying to climb into his car to beat the crap out of him after shows.
Yeah,
that's how hated he was.
I remember that there was some kind of altercation with him and a lady after some
she tried to climb into his car.
Yeah.
Like tried to climb in through the window just to beat the crap out of him. But it's a really good story. Unfortunately, it's not Jericho reading it, but the guy they got to do it makes it pretty entertaining. So
Audible Audible does find some really good people to read the book. So.
And wow, I don't know where I was going. So there you go.
Well, they have, series as well as individual books. They've got Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of Star Wars.
Yeah, tons of Star
Aragon,
Wars.
Game of Thrones.
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff that you're able to read. And if you want suggestions, like if you want to reach out to one of us for a book suggestion, Gears of War, Mass Effect's on there as well. So there's a ton of them. So just be like, hey, what book should I get for free? And we'll be like, hey, what do you like? And you'll tell us. And then we're like, this is the book you should read. Because
between all of us, we cover a very broad spectrum.
Yes, very broad. Broad
spectrum.
Can y'all believe I did an episode by myself last week? So, reach out to us if you want a suggestion on a book to get. This is completely free. This is no charge to you. So you could use it for 30 days and cancel it.
But you can still listen to your book.
Yeah. You get that book. It's always yours. It's free. So
best 4-letter word. Free.
Yeah.
And to do that, go to audibletrial.com/nerdcave.
Yes, audible.com.
Do it.
audibletrial.com.
Yes.
/nerdcave. Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go, guys. You can go check that out.
Speaking of a person from Smodcast.
Yeah. Kevin Smith joins the cast of Call of Duty's new co-op zombie mode. If you like zombies in the 90s nostalgia, the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare DLC is right up your alley. Rave in the Redwoods is a new co-op survival mode included with the upcoming Call of Duty DLC map pack. Sabotage. Sabotage.
Thought I almost said Savitar.
Yeah, no, not the God of Speed.
Yeah.
The zombie mode takes place in an abandoned summer camp and features the classic 90s Kara battling for survival. Kevin Smith lends his likeness and voice to the game, helping players escape the hordes of raver zombies who've taken over. In addition to Smith, the 4 characters from the original Call of Duty Infinite Warfare zombie mode return, along with Willard Wyler, the villainous film director played by Paul Rubens, perhaps best known for his Pee Wee Herman character. Ike Barinholtz, Seth Green, Jay Farrow, and Sashir Zamata also returning cast members. So, what do y'all think? Kevin Smith being in not just a game, but Call of Duty, and it looks like him.
It's very interesting.
I don't know if let me see if it'll pull up real quick so y'all can actually see.
I know it sounds greedy, but I wish they had the quick stop as a location.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Just camp out on top of quick stop and just snipe them.
So
Yeah, the likeness is really good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he's in his jersey, he's in his hat and everything.
That's awesome.
So that's really really cool.
The only issue is the game sucks.
I haven't played it, so I can't tell.
I got it for free. Thankful for game sharing because that makes life easier. So I was like, okay, I didn't pay for it, so my expectations were super low since I didn't shell out any money for it, and I still hated it.
Like I said, I haven't played it, so I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Our tastes are usually similar except for Smite, but they're usually similar. So I haven't played the last 2 Call of Duty games. I haven't played Black Ops 3 or this new one.
The only saving grace, though, is I did play Zombies also. At the beginning, it was super laggy, but it got better as they patched and everything like that. And that's the only reason I would ever play this game.
Yeah.
Is for the zombies. So with him being in it, makes you want to go back and play it. But I won't play the campaign or the multiplayer, just zombies.
Yeah. So this was a bit of interesting news this week for me. I saw this posted on Facebook. Gears of War 4 gets versus social crossplay. Microsoft and the Coalition are now allowing Xbox One and PC players to fight against one another in Gears of War 4. The game's social quick play is now a cross-play playlist according to Xbox Wire. That means Xbox One and PC players can duke it out in Gears of War 4's versus multiplayer. The move is planned to be permanent after these first few months serve as a trial. The Coalition actually tested out Gears of War 4 multiplayer crossplay back in December for a weekend. As for core competitive modes, they will still stay platform specific now. Now, speaking of multiplayer, earlier this month, Gears of War 4 got 2 classic maps, Blood Drive and Clock Tower. So there you go. I find it interesting that they're bringing in more and more cross-play stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of making the Xbox One, in my opinion, a little obsolete. That's just me.
Yeah, I do see where you're going with that, but an Xbox is 10 times cheaper than getting a PC, though. So, that's the only saving grace right now is that, you could play the games. Your PC players aren't going to go out and buy an Xbox for Gears of War or anything like that, because you could play with your friend who has an Xbox on your PC. I like cross-platform. Obviously it's going to dip into somebody's pocket, and, it just so happens it's probably going to be Xbox and Microsoft. But I'm all for cross-platform. I would love to see the day when,
I don't mind cross-platform. I'm talking about cross-play, like where I buy a game here and over here I can play it again. It's awesome for the consumer.
Yeah.
I just think it's making one of the systems a little less, a little less relevant.
But one day we'll get it to where all systems can play together. Maybe.
I hope Shu doesn't let that happen. I love you, Shu. I miss you, man.
It needs to happen. It'll make life so much easier.
See, the episode that didn't get put out, I went on a rant about Shu.
Yeah.
Bad or good?
Good.
Okay.
Shu, hey.
I'm about to say, I've
It was
never heard
probably
you say
going to be
anything
called
bad.
Shout Out to Shuhei. That's how many references there were.
Full of grace.
Yeah.
Now, last week, there was this thing, and I was hoping for it. I really was. I was excited for it. That Obsidian would be making either a Fallout 4 or a Kotor 3. But it's not. Obsidian announces Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. A fan-funding campaign for a follow-up to 2015's Pillars of Eternity. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire is now live. Obsidian Entertainment, the developer behind Fallout New Vegas, South Park The Stick of Truth, and the original Pillars of Eternity, launched the campaign on Fig. The campaign has an overall goal of $1.1 million US. According to Obsidian's Pillar of Eternity 2 Deadfire, improves upon the rich narrative, beautiful environments, and intricate tactical combat that helped make the game a success. The sequel sees players return to the world of Yora, this time to explore the Deadfire, blah, blah, blah. Traveling by land and sea, players move from island to island, exploring the environment and smoothing out relations between the locals, trading companies, and bands of fierce pirates. So, there you go.
Yay.
Every so often, I get a little bit of hope in my heart that I'll see a KOTOR 3 before I die. And once again, that hope flickers away and dies.
Well,
I
Robbie,
could murder you right now, so you never get
if you wish really, really hard,
it could happen.
it could happen.
I've been wishing since high school, and that was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago? Something like that.
Yeah. Feels like a lot longer.
It does. I want one to come out. So I mean, I'm sure this game is great. I mean, I'm sure people love this game, but it's not the game everybody was looking for.
Yeah, everyone wants a KOTOR 3, and it needs to happen.
But there's still doors opening because I've been watching Star Wars Rebels, and they are diving into stuff that is like really deep in the KOTOR saga, where you have the Mandalorian Wars, which was, thrown out, everybody thought, until, you heard a nod in the Clone Wars animated TV shows whenever Obi-Wan was protecting that Mandalorian queen. Mm-hmm. You heard a nod about the Mandalorian Wars there, but nobody paid attention to it. And then they brought it back up in Star Wars Rebels, and they made Grand Admiral Thrawn canon. So now the Mandalorian Wars are also canon, which opens up for Disney and Lucasfilms and all that stuff to bring in maybe a new KOTOR. So there's still hope.
It could happen.
I'm wishing really, really hard.